Hi, this is Sherman again. We are going to talk about the second step of making backing tracks, and that is by using Cubasis. You can see Cubasis at the top of the screen, just to the right a little bit. Cubasis 3 is a program that's an iPad program, and I believe it's free. If it did cost, it wasn't much. But Cubasis is the DAW or the mixer that we use. A lot of us use to make our backing tracks, and so we're going to go into that in depth today and talk about that. The first step was obviously downloading the files from the karaoke version and saving them to our computer or our tablet here. And we'll get into that in a minute, we'll go through that. But so the first step was that, and then this step obviously is the Cubasis process. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of depth in it, but I'm going to show you what I do and why I do, and hopefully it'll make sense. And it'll take a little while for the new person to kind of grab this program, but you fiddle with it for a little while and you'll have it. I can guarantee you it's not that difficult. It's a little bit confusing at first, what does what, how to make it do what, but hopefully I can walk you through most of the steps that'll take to get you there. After Cubasis, the next video will be based on Multi-Tracker 2, and that's basically where the magic, shines. Let's put it that way. There's a lot of steps that we're going to be doing in Cubasis, and that really make our tracks what they are. And you can go as far as little as you want. But anyway, so let's get started on Cubasis. First of all, let's go back to here to excuse me, still hacking away. It's only been a couple hours since I did the first video, but anyway, Cubasis is the program, and when it's set up, it's on my iPad, as you can see on the left hand side over there. And we open up Cubasis, and we brought the files in from the first phase of the process. We brought the files in and put them in Project. And I'm going to open up Project right now and kind of give you a rough idea, quick look again. And we're just going to pick Africa like we did before. And you can see here's where the files are. We also talked about I don't always do this on every song. Some songs are okay or where I don't need it, but some songs I definitely want it to be have my lead vocal Sherman in there for me to hit the volume, hit the accents that I want, the highlights that I want, the way I do things. Let's put it that way. So when these are all put into tracks, the lead vocal and I guess I might as well start at the beginning. In the tracks, I have four main outputs, and we'll talk about this later. Four main outputs. I have the right and the left files, and everything but the bass and the lead vocals and the triggers go into the right and left, and the right and left makes them stereo. These are actually stereo backing tracks, and they'll be used on Multi-Tracker, which is a stereo program, and you don't have to do the fade to the right or fade to the left or whatever. It's all right or left, and it's stereo coming out, and it's stereo in your ears as well, which is really nice. Anyway, so actually I take it back. The click is also in the fourth folder, directory, whatever you want to call it. the fourth out. Bass is on its own right and left, and it's channel number 3 on multi-tracker. We'll get into that in a minute, so don't worry too much about it. But there's 4 basic channels: the right and the left, the 1 and 2, the bass number 3, and then all the triggers, clicks, vocals, lead vocals, and because all those are only going to go to my ears, they don't go to the PA or the audience. So, and that'll make more sense as we go. But that's the 4 tracks, the 4 outputs. Let's put it that way. So these are the outputs here, and what I do is I'm going to open up. It'll be a different song, obviously, but it'll be the last song which I did, which was let's see what it was. It was called. What is it called? I can't remember.
Take the money and run. Take the money and run.
Take the money and run. Take the money and run. That's the name of the song. But this is probably one of the most difficult songs that I've ever done. There's been a few of them, but this was right up there. Usually the songs start at the same spot and they end at the same spot. Excuse me. But I have to move them around for vocal triggers. Setting up the song, bringing it in, the countdown, that kind of thing. Excuse me, goodness. So that'll make more sense. But so there's 3 main. So if a song has five tracks to it or stems to it, it will take 8 stems in when you make your number of tracks or stems that you do. And the reason is, and you may or may not do this, but this is what I do. And what the first 2 are for stage lighting, and that's a whole nother phase, and we probably won't even get into that at all. But anyway, that's why I do track 1, track 2 are for stage lighting. Track 3 is for vocal triggers, and the vocal trigger is basically, and I'm going to turn the rest of these off. I'm just opening it up just a little bit so you can kind of see what's going on. I'm going to do a solo on the vocal triggers, and you can hear it. So here we go. I'm going to press the play button here, and it's the one right next to the purple one on the top there. Take the money and run.
Take
Drums.
the money and run.
Intro.
Drums.
1,
Intro.
2, 3,
1,
4.
3, 4.
Woohoo!
2, 3, 4.
3, 4.
Okay. So that's what I do is I put the name of the song very first, and then I do a countdown for it. I'll show you where I get all that here in a minute, but just kind of trying to give you the layout right now, I guess, more than anything. So the name of the song, and then a countdown: 1, 2, 3, 4.
Verse.
Do it again.
Verse. 1.
Whoops. Sorry. Let's back that up. Take the money and run.
Take
Drums.
the money and run.
Intro.
Drums.
1.
Intro. 1.
Okay, so the name of the song, and then I say who's starting it off. So like in this case, this helps my band. You may not need to do this, but it helps my band. So the drums start, and the guitar starts. I think that's what it said. Take the money and run.
Take
Drums.
the money and run.
Intro.
Drums.
1.
Intro. 1.
Drums, intro, and then the countdown: 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see that there's a jog. Track number 3 starts at the 0 spot, and the click track starts at the 3, basically right there. It starts at the 3, and that you have to make that line up with your song. That's all I can tell you. It's got to line up with your song, so your click is always going to be where it is. Now, in addition to that, the other things that you add in, like your other vocal triggers, may or may not fall on your 1 count. they may fall on your 3.5 count or wherever, because that's the way these songs are. They start where they start. And so the rest of the vocal triggers may or may not fall on the one spot. They may not start on the one spot. So you just have to kind of watch for that. And this package, I'm going to take you for a ride here, so hang on tight, have fun. But I'm going to open up the media, which is the top left corner, and the media is going to take us to additional parts of the program that you're going to need to see, including the key parts of the vocal triggers. For example, the countdown: 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe chorus 1, 2, 3. Maybe various things, and we'll go through that here in just a second. But I just want you to kind of be aware, and I want to show you how to get there. So you go up to the top left corner. It says media. Touch that, and opens up the bottom. So in mine, I've got, where is it? Okay, I got to find it now. Vocal triggers. So mine's under, and I had to add this. This is a package that you got to get. And I'll see if I can direct you towards that. Looks like Don Henley buying a car. That's cool. Anyway, sorry, sidetrack from the TV going here. Vocal Triggers is a program that I can download. I'll put it in the link and let you have that as well. But you click on vocal triggers twice, and it takes you over, and it shows you the list of all the things that are vocal triggers, and each one of these can be dragged up to wherever you want them to be in your vocal trigger track. Like you can see, all in, that was one of them. Bass was, do that a lot. Bass, all in, or bass 1, 2, 3, 4, and then breakdown, bridge, build it up, chorus 2, click, click accent. Some of these I don't use. I just kind of go over them with you. The end. Let's see what else. I think I missed a couple. Nope, I didn't. So we got end. We got 5, 4. Guitar, and your song might start out with a guitar. If you want to note where a guitar comes in, you can do that, or the instrumental, or the interlude, or the intro. I throw that in there a lot too. Intro, drums 1, 2, 3, that kind of thing. These are key things to kind of help you know, and your band know what's coming up in the song. Let's see. Keys, that's a common one to bring in. There's your number 1 spot, and it just says 1, and then it would go to 2, 3, 4, kind of thing. Let's see what else. 6, solo, swell, tag 3, 6, 8. Trash can, never used that one. There's your 2. There's your verse 2. Worship leader. Anyway, those are some of the vocal triggers that I use to start off where I'm at, start off the song, to guide where I need to come in as a singer, and also you may have a chorus or a what was the other thing I was thinking of? Where a solo spot, where the keyboard guy jumps in and he does his little keyboard thing for a solo, or the lead guitar does his solo. Sometimes you have time where you can put that in there, and this particular song had that. But anyway, that's the vocal triggers, and those are some of the vocal triggers that I use on my songs. And so close that down. You can kind of see. Hang on a sec. Hey, Dad.
Is it okay if I jump in the shower?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Okay, sorry about that. So those are the volt triggers that come in. You can see them listed at the number 3 track there. But the key is making them, putting them in place where they need to be to match your song. And you may think, what the heck am I doing here? And I've had to redo do them before as well because it turns into a mess. But let's just play the vocal trigger a little bit more.
4,
So I've got everything else shut off, but
2, 3, 4, 3, 4.
woo-hoo.
Verse.
That's the beginning of the song.
1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4.
So you can see where I had a spot in there where I didn't know where that was going to come in, or I may not. If I'm not paying attention, I may miss that totally, and that's kind of a key important part. So I put it in there, woo-hoo, and I actually recorded that like I do with the name of the song. The name of the song, I recorded the name of the song, and that's the very first thing I put in that vocal trigger, as well as other little minute things that I don't have a trigger for, or a vocal trigger for. So that's kind of that. Let's see, and then the rest of it is basically the same kind of a thing. It's just knowing where to put in you get down to this point here, and let's do the
Chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4.
So I'm gonna start that.
Bobby Sue took the money.
Chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4.
Take the money and run. Take the money and run. Go on, take the money and run. Take the money and run.
Anyway, that's that. That's how I use the vocal triggers, and they help a lot immensely. They honestly do. And at the very end, that's probably a solo spot right there that you're looking at, that big hole in between the vocal triggers there. And then at the very end, let's just kind of listen to that and see how I threw some of those vocal triggers in there.
Chorus. 1, 2, 3, 4.
3, 4. Go on, take the money and run. Take the money and run.
Repeat. 3, 4.
Go on, take the money and run. Take the money and run.
Repeat. 3, 4.
Go on, take the money and run. Take the money and run.
Repeat. 3, 4.
Go on, take the money and run. Take the money
And
and run.
2, 3, 4.
3, 4.
Okay, you can see over in this area here, I didn't have a lot of room to put it in there, and I didn't want to drag it out. I know what repeat is, and I know it's coming up quick, so I just put it in repeat 3, 4, and then when it gets close to the next one, same thing, repeat 3, 4, and then so obviously it's got 3 of those on there, and then it goes right from the repeat down to the end, 2, 3, 4. And that song ends pretty quick at that point. Let's just play it again.
Money and run.
And 2, 3, 4.
3, 4.
And 2, 3, 4. So like I say, a lot of it is just figuring out the song and knowing what to do that way. These things. Uh-oh. I gotta go back. Hang on. Undo. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. There we go. That's lined up. God, it scared me. Thought I messed it up.
Take the money and take the money and
There. You can see that all the tracks end the same. It's really best if they start the same and they end the same. It could throw your multi-tracker off. It could throw your song off. It could throw, you just never know what could happen. but in this case it didn't affect anything, so I left it. There's some things on here that you might need to know about. This circle button to the right of the purple on the top, the circle button, that's the record button. The triangle to the right is the play button, and the fast forward and fast backwards on the other side of the purple. Let's see. Key things is erase, the second line down, erase, and going across, mute. I don't use that very often, but you may. I don't even mess with the stretch at all, but I do the undo and the redo and the copy a lot. Those are kind of real critical for me. But like if you're trying to copy a trigger 3, you can go copy and then just put it where it's got to go. You know, let's say you want to put one right here, and then you touch the track that it's going to go to, and then you say paste, or go down to your vocal triggers and then double click on it, and it'll add it right there. But it has to be lined up, like in this case it shows the vocal trigger 3 is highlit, you can see that, and then where I want the trigger to go is on the bold line there. Let's see what else. Oh, I should have told you this from the beginning, sorry. When you first start the song, you need to, it's up at the top there, it says 98 beats per minute. Take that right off of your karaoke version report at the top of that page that we looked at on the first video. It tells you how many beats per minute, and it tells you the count 4/4. But those are key important. Sometimes, and I'm not gonna show you everything to do on this thing, but I'm gonna show you. So obviously that's the 1 spot, that's the 2 spot, that's the 3 spot, that's the 4 spot, that's the 1 spot. So sometimes, like I said, you may have a part of the song. Oh, in fact, you can kind of see it right there. The 1 on the click track, and the 1 has taller 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a bigger, it's bolder. You know what I'm saying? That's that kind of thing. But those are the they may or may not be exactly on where the 1 is on your at the top there. It might be slightly different than that, and that's okay. Little bit's all right. Just slide it one way or the other, and drop your trigger. You're not going to be off that far usually. And if it is, sometimes you need to change the where it says on the second line down on the far right, it says 1/16, and then right in the middle on the second line down underneath the start button, it also says 1/16. You can change that to 1/32 or other things to add more spots to drop. But I usually don't do that too very often. You don't have to normally. But anyway, just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Let's see, what else can I tell you? So the key thing is that that top line where it says left, right, that has to be the beginning and the end. That encompasses the whole song at that point. If that right is outside or inside of the tracks, it's done, and those are cut off. So if you have that issue, that's where you got to go to find that. But that's probably one of the last things I do when I set it up, is I double check that, make sure those are all good. And it doesn't take much to put those things off. As you're sliding across here, you can take that 1 or that left 1, and you could bring it over 1 notch, and it would throw it all off. Anyway, what else can I tell you here? Baby's having a tough time sleeping tonight, so my granddaughter. We've all been sick. I've been sick for I think this is the 7th week now, but still going to work, but hating it. So there's another spot here where, on the top line, the third one over, is called Mixer, and what I do with that is I go to Mixer, and it's track number 3, and you can see that I bump the vocal trigger volume up higher than the rest of them, and that just helps me hear it right off the bat. And we'll talk more about this when we get into the multi-tracker, and you'll see it there. You'll see that the volume of the vocal triggers is a lot lower, and the volume of the lead, for example, is a lot lower, because I have those down just so they don't blast and blare and whatever. But again, you can take these, I was going to tell you, and I kind of was doing it, but I'm pinching and dragging the ends to each other on that one. And if you look at the bottom right hand corner, you can see it's the very left of that. There's a right and a left arrow. So when I'm pinching, it's going to pinch in that mode, in the right and left. If I touch that again, now the highlight went over to the far right. That means it's going to pinch the up and down. Well, it's supposed to. That's interesting. Didn't do it. There we go. If you touch the bar on the bottom and you slide that over, see how it's moving? Slide it over, it gets bigger. And it's in the direction of I mean, obviously you can't see anything when you look at that. You want it fairly good size where you can see it. I usually like it about right there. And this one, I really don't use the bubble on that to expand. Anyway, just more information. But so that's, let's see. So once I get all the track in and I listen to them, I take an hour to do each song in this case with this program, Cubasis. It takes pretty much an hour to get all the current vocal triggers in there where I want them and the way I want them and the volume I want them and that kind of stuff. So takes some time to do that. It really is. It will be worth it in the long run, and it'll make your singing and your backing tracks so much better. I've done each and every one of my backing tracks individually, and it really makes them nice and makes them my own, and takes a lot of work. But let's see, what else can I show you? Let's go back up the upper left-hand corner where it says media there. I'm going to touch on that, media. And let's go down to the lower left-hand corner. It's highlight, projects is highlight right now. And you can, if you go down the second screen over, you can see different songs that I've used this program for. And not all of, I kind of start out with a different mixer. Let's put it that way, a different mixer. It was a mixer on my computer, and so I did a bunch of songs that way. And then I realized how nice Cubasis was with some coaxing of another mixer, another guy that does backing tracks, and the guy that I learned from mostly. But anyway, he encouraged everybody to try the Cubasis, and then it really is. It's a little bit more in depth and a little bit more it's compact. There's literally a lot of stuff that it does that make it nice. So you can see this next one down is called Mix Down. So when you get your song totally done, you click on that, and then you start the second box over at the very top says Create Mix Down. And you click on that, and it'll take you to a screen, and it'll ask you if you want to do several options, and we'll go over that in a minute. But that's what creates your mix down, and then you take that and put that in your multi-tracker. At least that's the program I use, but you probably do it to whatever program you use. There's some other stuff I was going to tell you. Oh yeah. Let's see if I can get rid of this. Hang on. Close down the media part. So you can see each track is labeled, and let's get the beginning here. All right, let's go that way. Click. You can see click right there. Let's click on the track itself and click on the name of the track. So what I do is I click on this, and it highlights it, and then the upper left hand corner says click again. I can rename it. So that's how I do that. You can actually do the same thing with the other one. If it's too long, too confusing, whatever, you can change that as well. Definitely wanted to point that out to you. And by changing, you can literally take these tracks and go. Let's leave that one. Let's go to bass. We're gonna take bass out of 6. We're gonna put it in 5. So really, I mean, or you can just I took it up in 5, and it just renamed it. If I drag it down, bass went to 7. So, or you drag it back up and went right back to 6. So you can just touch it, hold it, and then slide your finger up or down, and it'll put it where you want it, and it'll keep the name once it's named. It'll keep the name that it initially keeps it with as well, which is confusing. But anyway, let's see what else. What else do I need to tell you? I think that's pretty much most of it there. So let's go on to where when you do the mix down. I'm going to go back to this here. And on my iPad, you go to Cubasis 3, touch that, and we brought this project in at the beginning and put it in projects. And you can see the list of all the projects that I've got, or they're all there, all the ones I've done in Cubasis. Go back to that, and oops, sorry, I went too far. Cubasis. And so there's projects, and then the next one, after you hit that mix down, the individual songs goes out to individual tracks, stems would go out to this directory here. And what I do is I just take, and you can see some of these are long named, and I try and change them at some point because I don't like to have Hotel California, blah blah blah, one instrument. All I really care about is vocal triggers, the name vocal triggers, the name lead vocals, the name acoustic guitar. Those are the things that I really need to keep. I don't need to keep all the rest of that stuff. So at this point, what I would do is I would copy these, and I would paste them to. So let's do select all. Select all, bam. And then down here in the lower right hand corner it says more, and it says copy. Well, shoot, I don't want 408. That must be everything in there, but I would literally pick the what's it doing? Sorry. Let's cancel that. Let's cancel that. Done. Okay, so if I wanted to pick just Hotel California, I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever. However many there are, and there's a bunch of them on this one. And I usually, when I'm doing it, I know exactly how many stems there are. Oops, went too far. So in this case, there are 17 stems that make up that song. Wow, that was weird noise coming from the upstairs. Sorry. Lots of distractions at this point. But anyway, so that's how you copy and paste them. So that's pretty much it. And then I would take those and I would say copy, and I would go to my iPad, on my iPad again. Let's get out of that. My iPad. And then what I would do is I would take it to multi-tracker 2.2, and I would go to my songs, and that said I had 100 of them here, and I would literally go to my song, and I would go, oh, that's a bad one. All I want to do, and at this point when I grab those, this would be blank, and I would just paste them in here, and then that would take care of the Cubasis process. So kind of overview, if I could take a quick second, an overview without too much crazy and too much detail. Bring in the song. Let's see, by bringing in the song, we did it from the stuff that we downloaded off of karaoke version, and then we would bring it into Cubasis on my iPad, Cubasis 3, and go to projects, and then put it under thing. That would put it in there, and that makes it a project for Cubasis. Then when you're done mixing your song, then you go back to on my iPad, go to Cubasis again, and then you would go to mix down, and then hit the mix down button, and that creates those there. So that's kind of the overview of that part of it, and then take those and drag those from there, just the song obviously, take those and then drag them into multi-tracker, put them in underneath your song, and against all odds, all I want to do, and then put them in there and paste. And that pretty much takes care of the Cubasis part of it. Again, apologize for the distractions. There's a few things going on in the house right now, but it's pretty quiet considering normal. It's usually a lot busier than this, a lot busier than this. We have 7 people in our house, father-in-law, and my youngest son, and then we also have my daughter and her son and her daughter that lives with us now. Her husband was killed by a drug overdose, and so anyway, we brought them into the house, and it's been wonderful to have them with us, and we love them. Tragic, but we love them, and it's nice to be a part of their lives and have them part of our lives. So anyway, like I say, it can get busy in our house. Didn't want to dial into that too tight, but just it's a big house and a lot of people, so we love them. And again, I hope this works good for you. You're gonna have a little tough time getting started, I'm sure, but just know that if I can do it, you can do it. Number one, and if you want to, you're just gonna have to go back, take notes, go back, take notes, go back, and then keep trying, and it'll all come together. I think I pretty much hit on all the parts for the Cubasis part, and hopefully that's a good thing for you. Good luck to you, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks a lot. Talk to you later.